Greetings pet lovers, Bridget here with First Street Pets, and today we're going to talk about Doodles. When Doodles first started coming on the scene in the 90s, like a lot of other people working in animal welfare, I thought they were mutts. I thought it was a fad that would soon pass, but as it turns out, now we're in the 2020s and Doodles are here to stay. At some point, I learned about their benefits. I actually got one myself, and I decided if you can't beat them, join them. So what I want to talk about in this video is which Doodle is the best. Now, of course, that's very subjective, but I'm going to talk about 5 kinds of Doodles that are very popular today. Number 1, the Bernedoodle. This is the breed that I chose for my next dog when my elderly Anatolian Shepherd was getting old and I knew she would pass away soon. One of the reasons I chose this particular kind of Doodle is I wanted a dog that was active but not hyper. And my Maya has turned out to be just that. Bernese mountain dogs are big and for the most part mellow. When I was pet sitting in San Francisco in the 90s, I got to know quite a few of them, so I became familiar with their personalities. Unfortunately, like a lot of other purebreds, many of them do have some genetic problems because the gene pool is just too small in a lot of purebred dogs these days. I have known several that sadly died quite young from cancer, and I mean like 4 or 5 years old. So getting a purebred was not really in my sights, which is one of the reasons why I got a Doodle. Now, choosing a crossbreed like a Doodle doesn't guarantee longevity, but it certainly reduces your chances of those recessive gene problems that come from having 2 parents that are of exactly the same breed. Maya is a standard size Bernedoodle at about 70 pounds. They can get a lot bigger. I've seen a few up to 90 or 100 pounds, and this can vary based on the size of the parents. They do come in miniature versions, but again, mini could be smaller, not necessarily small. They are miniaturized by either breeding a Bernese Mountain Dog with a smaller poodle, because poodles come in different sizes, or by breeding multiple generations and selecting the smaller ones. In either case, these aren't purebred dogs, so there's no guarantee of what their size or appearance will be when they grow up. I actually groomed 2 mini Bernedoodles. One is about 20 pounds and the other's about 40, and they're brother and sister. So that's the kind of variation you can see even in the same litter. Like all Doodles, Berneys require regular grooming. Their coat can vary from thick and curly like Maya's to more of a wavy coat to wiry or even a drop coat. So how you groom them and how often just depends on what kind of a coat they have. Of all the Doodles I groom, I do find that these guys mat the least. It's not to say that they won't mat or that they don't need to be regularly brushed and groomed. They certainly do. But they do seem to be the easiest on the matting with regular upkeep. Number 2, the Golden Doodle. Who doesn't love a golden retriever? They're sweet, they're friendly, they're adorable. Unfortunately, just like the Berneys, a lot of them do have genetic issues, and I have also known personally several that died quite young from cancer. They also frequently have problems with yeast infections in their ears and skin problems and lots of hair that will shed all over your house. I'm not saying don't get a golden retriever if that's what you want, and there are different lines of breeding. Some seem to have less hair and less of those problems than others, but crossing them with a poodle, just like with the Bernedoodle, has a tendency to reduce the likelihood of those genetic problems and of them having a short life. While Doodles can't be guaranteed to not shed because they are a crossbreed and there is some randomness in that, I do find that the Golden Doodles I groom don't shed, even if they do have a lot of hair. Now, their coats can really vary, and I actually find them to be some of the toughest dogs to groom. Now, the easiest ones of the Golden Doodles are those with more of a poodle type coat, and I have several like that. They're black and have a poodle coat, even though they're half Golden Retriever. But some have like a wispy coat or kind of a thick and wavy coat, and those coats tend to mat very easily, and it's difficult to make them look good without just clipping them down completely. So when you have your Golden Doodle, you'll just have to work with your groomer over time to figure out what style looks best and is most practical on your dog. Golden Doodles can be large and hyper. I mean, they are retrievers. Doodles in general are friendly and like attention, but these guys are like 10 times. They love to be the center of attention and generally need a lot of exercise. This is not a couch potato dog. One of my secret weapons in grooming, which I will share with you, is mane and tail detangling spray. Now there are other brands that may be just as good. This just happens to be the one I use because I also have horses. You can buy it at any feed store or follow the link in the description to order it online and have it delivered to you. If you brush your dog every day, which you should, or at least a couple times a week, with a spritz of this spray, it will really help the brush and comb get through the hair. And it also kind of puts a sheen on the hair so that it's less likely to tangle as the days go by. Now you don't ever want to try to brush out mats. If there are mats, just go to the groomer. But for your daily grooming maintenance between grooming appointments, go ahead and spray and brush with mane and tail, and it will make a world of difference. Number 3, the Labradoodle. This is the breed that started it all, and then the reason that we call them Doodles from Labrador, right? Because it's a poodle, not a doodle. Surprisingly, I don't see too many of them these days, possibly because there's so many other combos that are coming into fashion that people want to have instead of your basic Labradoodle. Like Labradors, they tend to be friendly, personable, and very active. All the ones I've known are basically Labrador-sized and look a lot like a Labrador. Their coats really vary. In fact, I have these 2 brothers. They're full brothers, and one has a very curly coat, like a poodle, but soft, and the other one has this totally wiry coat. So even in the same litter, their coats and appearances can vary. This happy guy is what's called a double doodle, or second gen, or F2, or any number of monikers, meaning you've bred a doodle to a doodle. He is a Labradoodle, next gen, but he's got this super curly coat with tight curls like a poodle. So again, you never know what you're gonna get, and he totally has the poodle body. When we clip him down, I swear to God, he looks like a stick figure. But he has the best personality, very sweet. It just goes to show there's no guarantee of adult size or appearance with the Doodle, so be prepared to love whatever you get. Number 4, the Sheepadoodle. This is a less common but absolutely adorable contender in the doodle world. You don't see many Old English sheepdogs these days. In fact, I couldn't tell you the last time I saw one. If you want to see a hilarious example of one, check out The Shaggy Dog, which is an old movie. The link is in the description to watch it on Prime Video. Back in the 60s, there weren't special effects, so this dog does all the tricks, does all the scenes in the movie, except for some that are just ridiculous because it's a person in a dog suit for certain scenes, because again, there were no special effects in the 60s. So check that out if you want to see an Old English sheepdog in action. I groomed 2 Sheepadoodles, and they are both adorable, sweet, personable, love people. They are very large, like 80 plus pounds as an adult, and very active. So be prepared for a lot of exercise, a lot of activity for this type of dog. They also have a lot of hair. I think they look like I think it's a good combo because they kind of look like a sheepdog, but with more of a poodle hair, so you can give them different cute styles. If you keep them in a long coat, it's daily brushing because these guys mat when you look at them. So they have very thick, very long hair and kind of wavy. And so unless you want to clip them down and keep them short, which is nice during the summer or if you're in a hot climate, or if you want to keep a longer style, they will require very frequent grooming appointments like every 2 to 4 weeks and daily brushing at home. Whichever doodle you choose, they will require a lifetime commitment. All doodles and all dogs need love, attention, exercise, a good diet, health care, and grooming. Puppies can be a handful, especially if you haven't had one in years and you don't remember what it's like. Adult dogs, and there are many doodles available in shelters and rescues, so definitely check that out first. Adult dogs can be shy. They can maybe not be housebroken or not used to your lifestyle. So whichever doodle you get, be prepared to make a commitment, be realistic in your expectations, and give your dog a chance to be successful in your family. Thank you for watching.